Welcome to this new lesson of Python basics. In this lesson, we are going to see what are strings. In simple terms, strings are a bit of text you want to display or export out of the program. Technically, they are a sequence of characters enclosed within quotes. In Python specifically, strings are a sequence of characters which can be an alphabet, a number, or a special character like at the rate, ampersand, percent, anything, enclosed in single quotes or double quotes. So now let's see an example of that. So as we saw, strings are nothing but the sequence of characters enclosed within single quotes or double quotes. So I can say hello world. Ah, this is a string, completely valid string, as well as this is also a completely valid string. So whether you are using the single quote or double quotes, it is a valid string in Python. Now let's say you do something like this, hello world, and put single quotes. See, it shows you error. Okay, now remember this, whenever you see an error, that doesn't mean that you are a bad programmer. What computer is trying to tell you is it do not understand what you are trying it to say to do. Okay, so here if you see, it clearly suggests the error, type of error basically, which is a syntax error, and it says that EOL, which is short form for end of line, while scanning string literal, which it also indicates where the error occurred. So this marker indicates at this point error occurred. Now why this error is, we know that anything enclosed within single quotes or double quotes is a string, but if we have started string with a double quotes, it should end on double quote, not on single quote. So that's why the error. So the valid string, as we already saw, should have been this with a double quotes. Now same thing, if my string starts with single quote and let's say end on double quotes, it will again show me an error. The reason, it is expecting it to be a valid string to be having started with single quotes, hence it should end on a single quote. As we saw the way to create a string in Python, now let's see whether I can enclose a number within a double quotes. Yes, it becomes a string. Now how do I know that it's not a number like an integer and it's a string? So I can again use a type function, pass this 21 and press enter. See, it shows you that it's a string and not a number. Similar way, I can always write type hello world. It's a string. Even if I put a single quote, it should still show it's a string. So the type function will actually give type of value enclosed within those parentheses. Okay. Now let's see different things that we can include in a string. We already saw the alphabets and numbers. We can also have special characters like at the rate. And if I go, it will still be a string because it is enclosed within an at the rate symbol. Now let's say I'm writing I am boy, and now see, we saw that a string should be enclosed within single quotes or double quotes. But if the string starts with double quotes, it should end on double quotes. Hence, I can include single quotation mark inside my string. Now, let's say if I put a single quote to start this string and end on a string, see, it shows me an error. And see the error where it shows. It is clearly saying that error is at this point, and the error is of type syntax. The error is it says invalid syntax because as per Python interpreter, it was expecting string to end on a single quote. So it assumed that string has ended on I, and after that whatever character has come, it don't know what it is and how to process it, and hence the error. So to correct that, we will again fix this and put everything inside single quote or double quote, sorry. Now similar way I can have a string, and inside that I can enclose, see, the output. Now it is again showing me that the double quotes that I have included is valid. Similar way, like single quotes, if I start a string with double quotes and end on double quotes, it will show me an error. So the error is completely valid syntax error because it says that it was expecting it to a string to end on this double quotes, and there is a character A and it don't know what exactly it is. Okay, now let's correct that. See, we have a valid string now. Okay, so this is what is there that I want to discuss about the strings. Now let's see where these strings are used and how to use. So string is generally used to display some message to the end user. It is also used to read an input from the user. Whenever you want to process some kind of a text, you are actually internally processing a string. So string is almost used everywhere in Python. Whether you are working on a data science project, machine learning, or an AI, you will find a string is being used over there. Okay? Now, as we saw the operators that we can use on numbers, there are two operators that we can use also on strings. The operators that we can use are combine strings, which is indicated by plus, and repeat strings, which is indicated by asterisk. Okay, now let's see both of them in working. So let's say I have a string hello plus world. See, it is joining those two strings together. Okay, now and creating a new string called as hello world. But see here, it is actually taking those strings literally together. There is no space in between. So to add that space over here, we will have to use extra space like this. See, now it shows a proper hello world message with a space in between. Now let's see how to use a repeat operator. Let's say I want to print my name 3 times. See, it prints my name 3 times. So what this does is, it's the asterisk symbol takes both of the values. It sees on the left side I have a string, and on the right side I have an integer number. That means I am trying to repeat the string those many number of times. Hence it has repeated this string 3 times. I can say 10. See, it repeats it 10 times. If I want to make it meaningful, I can make it meaningful like this. Okay, so this is how you use the concatenation operator, which actually takes two strings and attach them together and creating a new string. Whereas the asterisk or the repeat operator is used to print or display the same string those many number of times. Okay, so this is what the strings that we are going to use everywhere in Python. Now let's see the different types of functions that we can apply on strings. So the functions are nothing but the kind of a block in Python program that we will see how to create and how to use them later on. For strings, there are some inbuilt functions that we can directly apply on strings, like length, which is used to get the length of the string, basically the number of characters inside a string. Lower is used to convert all the characters into lowercase. Upper is used to convert all the characters into the uppercase. So these are generally used the functions. There are more functions available which you can visit by to the URL that I have provided over here. Go to that URL and see the all the functions which are available for string. Now let's see how to use these three functions on a string. So let's see how to use a length function. So, function name, which is length, then a string, let's say hello, in closing parenthesis. So see, it shows us there are 5 characters. This is a length of the hello word. Now let's see the other operators, which is a lower. So I will use same string hello dot lower. See, it converts every character into a lowercase. Same thing I can use with the upper. See, all the characters are converted into the uppercase. Okay. Now, why the difference between using the length and the lower and the upper is because length function is an inbuilt function in Python which is applied on strings, list, basically to get length of the each and every object that is possible provided inbuilt by the Python, whereas lower and upper are the functions which are specifically for the strings. For more details, you can visit the URL that I have displayed in the previous slide. Now, in the next session, we are going to see how to use variables, what are variables, and why to use them.